Alright, hello everyone. I just got to level 45. This is the third day post-launch of the Korean version of Aion 2. And I want to talk a little bit about the game and my opinion on it. As I first said, I didn't plan to play the game because of the pay-to-win allegations. And just to be clear, there's still a lot of pay-to-win allegations. But a lot of people were playing, a lot of my friends and guildmates were playing, so I decided to give it a shot. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a lot of fun on the leveling process. So I want to talk a little bit about the game, about what I think of it, about what I learned from it, and about what I probably want to do with the game, the progress in the future. So let me just start by saying this is gonna be a very honest review. I don't like how everyone's doing a bunch of reviews on the game before even playing, testing, understanding more about the systems, because it gives me the same perception of Throne, where a lot of people just go with the flow and never really tested the game and like checked how viable it is to actually play the game and enjoy the game as a free to play. So I want to do something like that. Right now, this is just gonna be a very early, very early review. I just got to max level. I just played for 3 days. I'm still learning about the Patreon specs and how in depth they really are, like how much they truly affect your experience of enjoying the game and even competing on the game, right? So let's start. The first thing I learned while leveling on how the pay-to-win aspects of the game affect you is your inventory space is expensive. Like, it's really annoying because you have a lot of items, and a lot of items you cannot store in the bank. So there are items that you literally have like stuck on your inventory, taking a slot forever, and it's really expensive. As you can see, this costs 400k for another row of 5 slots, and I only have like 2.5 million of the currency right now, so that's like 1/5 of my entire bank just to expand this. And what annoys me the most is that you have a very convenient button here that will give you access to the storage remotely if you have the membership. And that is infuriating because you even have currencies in your inventory. Like, those should not be here. So yeah, this is the first thing on leveling that really triggered me, and it's something that you should be aware the pay-to-win does affect. The second thing that annoys me is the market. You can only buy from the market. You cannot sell anything on the market unless you have the membership. So that's also mega annoying. And if you're gonna go to that point of talking about the membership problems, there are many other problems. You can check probably then more in depth. I'm still learning, to be honest, about most of the problems behind them and how truly they affect your experience. But for example, this membership allows you to open more cubes, which means you open more chests at the end of the dungeon. And that's not that big of a problem because that means you just gotta do more dungeons compared to this, right? But the problem is it gives you 50% increase on the energy charge, which means they are getting like 50% more dungeons than you on the energy recharge, which is what you use to open chests. So this is straight up pay-to-win, right? Straight up pay-to-win. There's the battle passes here, which I don't know how impactful they are yet. I just got to level 45. Like I said, this is a very early review. I'm gonna keep playing, keep trying to get to end game, compete on PvP, try to get to decent levels or like let's say tiers of gear to see how much truly does this affect your experience on the game. Right now I cannot really tell because there's a lot of things here that I don't know how much this is, like if it's 300 like compared to the bigger scale. Like, what if you're gonna need 30,000, then this is like not that much, not that significant. It's just definitely gonna be a power boost for the early game of like the first month or two probably of the game. But of course, like I said, this is still gonna have to take time. Another really annoying thing is the shop. If you have the memberships, you have access to a lot of extra things that will benefit you in the game. So like all those things are gonna be, you need to have the membership to buy those, and they are gonna definitely help you in the game. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something that definitely, again, pay to win. let's move to the other discussion, which is you need to pay for your membership to do mostly all of those things that I listed, and you cannot buy those with like in-game currency. So you can only buy those directly using money, like real life money directly. That means you're gonna have to buy those every month if you want to keep those bonuses. Talking about this, it only lasts 28 days. So it doesn't last 30 days like the common monthly thing. So it's very annoying as well. But yeah, you cannot just buy this once. For example, if I want to buy this, just use the market, and then I want to sell my items for cash, right, for the paid currency of the game, and then buy this again next month. I cannot do that. I have to buy this with my money directly. So that's a pretty big thing for the free to play. Not only you cannot achieve this from the start compared to, for example, Throne, where you can just use the market, get your Lucent, which is the paid currency there, and buy whatever you need. Here, you at least need to buy this to start making your cash, to buy battle passes and other things, right? But even if you buy this and you farm, let's say, a bunch of the paid currency of this game, you're not gonna be able to next month use that money that you farmed to buy the memberships again. You actually gonna need to pay this directly with cash. So this is a pretty big deal for free to play. You're never going to be able to be sustainable by yourself just from the game. You're always going to need to put money in the game to keep those benefits. All right. When it comes to like the progression of the start of the level of the enjoyment experience should be 100% transparent. The inventory really annoyed me. Everything else is mostly fine. And I actually didn't feel like it impacted my experience getting to level 45 and enjoying the world. Talking about the world, I think the map, the experience of leveling has been mega fun. You can see I'm still I got to level 45 and I have 1.1 gear score. Usually if people are power leveling, you can say I didn't finish my main quest yet. They finish around 900 to 950 gear score here because they are just rushing this end game, like this main quest to level up. And if you're doing that, so you can unlock the new features when you get to level 45, that's totally fine. But you're actually gonna probably end up having a worse experience because the PvE in this game is actually pretty hard, to be honest. Even more if you're playing with ping, it's actually not easy to progress in the game. So I have seen a lot of people struggling to progress, and even the devs already nerfed some of the PvE bosses. Because in this game, it's really cool because all those extra dungeons here that you see the check mark are basically kind of side quests, and when you complete those, you get those Divanium crystals, which when you use, you permanently unlock status points, basically, that you can use to permanently make your character better. So actually stopping to doing those quests will be significant for your character progression, and will add like a bunch of extra points that you can use here to get more status, get more skill levels, get more passive levels. So it's mega important, mega relevant. Everyone's gonna have to do that. And in case you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna rush to endgame, get level 45, and then I'm gonna rush all of those because these are like level 15, right? Level 10, level 20. But the thing is, those side quests all scale up to your current level. So for example, if I skip this was level 15, right? I skipped this and I came back at level 45 to do this. Now all the mobs in this dungeon are gonna be level 45, which means even if you just try to speedrun and skip everything, you're gonna have more trouble than probably doing that in the like correct order / progression, which is kind of interesting because usually the efficient way in games will be to rush your max level and then you just tackle the side quests as like a brain dead thing. But this game kind of forces you to have challenges in every single part of the game, which I really like, honestly. One thing that this game has as well is auto-pathing. So if I click Alt 1 here, my character is going to do auto-pathing. And this is another thing that annoys me a little bit from the other things in this game, it feels very mobile-ish because like this game has been released on mobile, right? So a lot of things on the UI, a lot of things on the shop feels very mobile, folks, which is mega annoying. But when it comes to the experience of leveling, I actually didn't mind because auto pathing is fine as long as it's not auto combat for me. It's okay. And one thing that I really enjoyed of the auto pathing is not only you get to explore and see the world with all like okay moving, but this game has things that are called these feathers here. I already picked this one up, but you can grab those feathers, and with those feathers, which are scattered all over the world, the map, sorry, you have to pay attention to grab them, and you can use them to level up here this thing. And this thing is mega important because it's gonna give you this, which is literally skill points. So every level that you get on this totem monolith thing is gonna give you skill points, which are permanent, and will definitely help like you to progress in your character. You can see I have a bunch of them, and like make your character stronger. So this is another thing that I really enjoyed, even with autopathing, even with the mobile thing. Exploring the game is very rewarding because, like I said, you can gather a bunch of those different wings. You can see on the minimap here, I found a few and they're marked there. It's on the minimap. And this is a really nice thing if you enjoy just walking around, just flying around and flying, because you get a flying thing. And flying in this game feels amazing. Like you have so much freedom. Ooh, lagged. Sorry. You have so much freedom to explore the world around and do whatever you want. So, for example, if you think, oh, I think there might be something like back there, you go flying around, you go checking like if you can find something. And funny enough, a lot of times you're actually gonna find stuff. And it's really rewarding, like to check things out and actually finding new things. There's also hidden cubes, which I probably will not find one right now, but you can use those keys here that you get a bunch of them to open those hidden cubes, and they will give you a bunch of very nice rewards to start. So the game feels really cool on the aspect of exploration and like the part of like progressing your character feels very impactful compared to other games where usually you just do side quests to level up or to get some EXP for your main leveling of your main character, right? You just do the side quest to level up some extra XP that I might need, and usually you just end up skipping on them on the end, by the end game, right? No, here they actually want you to do the content, so you actually get permanent progression on your character from doing it, and I really enjoy it. Another thing that I really enjoy is how they are doing the pets. So every monster in the game, from what I have seen, have a chance of dropping a bound soul. And when you drop those souls, you can gather them to stack or level up your current monsters, and this will give you some bonus effect. That's cool if you like grinding, because that means you have a lot of grind to do just by like killing the same mobs to get extra effects. But what I really like about it is you can make any monster in the game basically your pet or your mount. So for example, right now I'm using this cat that I got from the hidden cube, but this is a mob on the start of the game, and you can just summon, and now you can use this as your mount. So this is really fun. If you like collecting things, if you like exploring and getting new things, or it's just like a collection game overall. It's really fun. I have been having a blast with like checking what I can different monsters, what they give, how grindy they are, let's say like that. I actually enjoy that because I like doing grindy things. So yeah, when it comes to exploring and leveling, it was a great experience. I just unlocked the level 45 things, so I'm gonna be doing a later review more in depth, talking about like how those operate, how much the pay to win affect those, and how much am I progressing as a free to play compared to others. Let's say like that. When it comes to the combat of this game, it's hard to judge because I'm from Brazil, and if I play without exit lag, I play with 400 ping, which is crazy. And you can see on this video here that I'm gonna include, I was rollbacking, the fight was already hard, and this made the fight almost impossible. I was really struggling, and if I didn't have like power level through the side quest, I would not have completed that. With exit lag, I can go to 300 ping, but sometimes the server is being a bit clunky and buggy, so exit lag is not working, so it's very frustrating. And on the same note about like accessibility to the game, just a really quick note, it's very easy to make a character and to get into the game. You just need to make there's a bunch of like tutorials online, you can just check around. I can make a tutorial if you guys need, but it's very easy to get into the game. You don't need a VPN. But there's a lot of issues that people are having with the phone number verification, and a lot of issues that people are having on actually connecting to the game, because there's a lot of not only bugs from a lot of people think trying the game and like disconnects because of overpopulation, but from what I have heard, there's a lot of DDoS going on the game as well, specifically on the server. Barakai, I don't know the name of the server, I'm sorry. So keep that in mind if you're gonna try this game. Ping is an issue, and right now it's very unstable compared to like anything else, right? Which is kind of expected on launch, but something that you gotta keep in mind. All right. But like I was saying, the combat actually feels nice. I enjoy the combat. What a lot of people don't like is and I have seen a lot of really bad reviews on this, is on the early game, it feels really clunky and feels really slow, and that's totally true. But you cannot judge a game based on just on the first start leveling, like on the early levels. You gotta judge the game based on like end game to mid game, right? So as you progress in the game, it starts getting better as your bar fills with more skills. You get more attack speed to combo your skills. You feel less static, but this game has a lot of skills that, for example, when you're casting them, you cannot move. So if I cast this fireball, I don't have a target to cast it, sorry. But yeah, if I cast this fireball, for example, I'm gonna stand still. I cannot move while casting the fireball. So you see, I had to stand still. So this a lot of people don't like because it's not that fluid. And they go the same thing. If I'm casting the fireball, I cannot dash in the middle of the animation. So if I want to dash here, I need to finish the animation of the fireball before dashing. This is what a lot of people have been complaining about the combat feeling clunky. It's not a very hack and slashy and action combat, let's say like that you can cancel your animations. Personally, I don't mind because I think it's part of the design and helps like to make counterplay to certain skills. If you see someone casting something, you can react to it and like respond to it. You know, I like it, but I understand if it's not the cup of tea for everyone. I just think a lot of people are judging the combat based on their currently ping instead of, for example, looking at Korean string and seeing how they are playing, how the game flows for them, and then judging based on that, right? Because you cannot judge the combat of the game based on like your 200, 300 ping battle situation. But yeah, so that's why I'm not gonna go that in depth. Personally, I enjoy the combat. I think I would love to play this with proper ping to truly be able to judge if it's good or bad. But from my observation, the only thing that happens is you do get stuck from time to time doing the animations, which is just the animation that cannot be canceled from one skill to another. Well, yeah, I think when it comes to leveling and progression and like exploring the world, this has been overall my first impressions. The only thing I can mention is how PvP works in this game as well. There are rifts that are gonna pop in the map randomly, and when a rift pop is gonna show in the message in your screen, and that rift means you can go into a portal and that's gonna send you to the other side. So what's the other side? In this game, there's two sides, basically two factions. You're playing, oh my god. You're playing on one faction here, and everyone that's playing here is friendly with you, but there's another map that is basically just another literally map that has the other faction, and the only way you can go to the other side is by taking this rift. They spawn, I think, from like 3 to 4 hours randomly from what I have seen, and you can take them to go to the other side. And that's the cool part. On the other side, what you can do there, you can actually find dungeons and quests and players on the other side, and you can either fight the players to kill them, you can do the dungeons to get rewards from the other side dungeons, or you can do quests from the other side to get extra rewards from the other side. So it's really cool. Like it's so fun to invade the enemy side, because it's like just wall invading the enemy faction in leveling spots. And it's so cool to have that pressure of like having to run away from other players, having to sneak in the enemy dungeon territories to do your like dungeons there, right? Their dungeons. So it's a really fun gimmick. What I imagine is going to evolve later on is going to be guilds that are going to be chasing people that invade you, or like guilds that are going to invade together to attack the other side and do things together. So it's going to be interesting to see how this evolve. The only bad part I would say from this is that a lot of PvE / casual / low level players get in the middle of the free fire, and that means you're gonna be dying to a random guy that's probably gonna be much stronger than you, and that's gonna be halting your progression and like being very annoying during that period. But be aware that they can only stay there for 30 minutes, and the rifts don't really pop that often. So if it's being annoying for that moment, it shouldn't last that long. And if he dies, he gets basically booted out of the portal. So you shouldn't really worry too much about the PvP ruining your PvE fun, if that's the thing that you're worried about. But if you enjoy PvP, it's very thrilling to go to the other side and experience everyone being your enemy. But yeah, I think that's my review so far. I babbled about like how I felt playing, how I felt progressing, and overall, like I said, the pay-to-win aspects didn't affect me other than the inventory. I have enjoyed a lot the exploring. I have enjoyed a lot the leveling. I have had good enjoyment of the combat, but I understand it's the lag that makes it very frustrating. And overall, it has been great experience for the few hours that I got of the game from being free to play, right? I expected to really go downhill from here because I just reached the max level. That means I'm going to start doing theoretically mid to end game content, right? And I expect the pay-to-win there to start showing up like how bad it is. But so far it's been great. This is just my review of the game. If you're playing for PvE, if you're playing for fun, the game feels fun to explore, feel fun to go around, fly around, do side quests, progress your character, feel like you feel you're getting stronger, you can feel the progression in your character. Your skills are very intensive, let's say that. I actually enjoy the visuals of it a lot. I enjoyed the combat of my class right now. I don't know the other classes, right? I'm playing the Summoner, Invocator, I don't know the name, Elementalist. It's been pretty fun. That's mostly about it. I'm sorry if you wanted me just to bash the game, but I'm just being honest. My experience so far has been positive, and I want to see how it goes in the future. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.